Sorry, you guys came out quick there.
Huh?
You guys came out rather quick.
Oh, yeah.
How's the kind of things going for your group at this point in the spring? What's maybe impressed you so far?
I think it's going good. I think we're getting better every day. Our attention to detail is getting better every day. And focus obviously goes along with that, with the attention to detail. Intensity level in practice is getting to a point where I want it. Not quite there yet. We're not even close to where I want it to be as far as the focus and the detail, but I do see it progressing every day, with the film study, going back, seeing what we're doing wrong, how we're supposed to do things, how we do things right, emphasizing that. So, but I'm just pleased that at least every day I see on film and in practice that our intensity level, attention to detail, and focus is getting better every day.
You've got a lot of guys in that group that you're getting reps. I mean, has the depth, I guess, held up? I mean, are you seeing guys that can help you?
Yeah. The depth is good. It's a deep running back room, and like I've always said before, it's a lot of competition. And it's making each and every one of them better. I've seen that. We're a lot better today than we were from the very first practice. Let's see how much better we can get from today to the scrimmage on Saturday. But it's a deep room, it's good to have depth like that because you can get a lot of guys reps, and a lot of guys can have that opportunity to show their teammates, not me, show their teammates that they're. They've put in the work, and they've stepped up to the plate, and they're able to accept the challenge when they get into the game.
What did you learn from that scrimmage? I mean, that was probably the first time you guys were tackling on the ground. So, what did you see from your guys?
I'm very hands-on at practice, so I learned, what I wanted to learn from that scrimmage. I got as I stepped back. I didn't say a word, and I just called out the rotation, and I let them play. And I learned that, that when they can play football at a fast pace. They played football at almost to the level of physicality that I want them to play at. Like I said, we're not where we need to be a contender in the conference, but we are trending in the right direction.
How's Anthony Grant adjusted coming in from JUCOs?
Good. He's adjusting well. It's always a process when you're coming from a junior college or anywhere, transferring from any school. All right, it's always a challenge to adjust to the process, but he has assimilated very well to what I want as far as the culture for the running back room and the expectation and the standard that I have for all of them. He's adjusted to that very well.
The fact that he had been at Florida State, he's really not age-wise a typical JUCO guy. Has that helped him a little bit being older?
He's mature as far as that. He's been through the fire already, and what I mean by the fire, he's been through a fall camp at a Division I school. He's been through a season at a Division I school. He was at the top of the top, okay, right? He was at Florida State, and then he goes to New Mexico military, and so he's seen everything in between. And I think that kind of has been a wake-up call to him as far as, of what he needs to do and how he needs to get it done to compete at a high level.
Yant was kind of up and down last year as a player. How have you seen him perform in spring camp?
Like the rest of them, he's getting better every day. I'm never satisfied with what we do at practice. We may have a good play, but can you have 5 good plays? You may have a good day. Can you have 4 good days in a row? Can you keep stacking days? Can you show up every day and do what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, even when you don't feel like doing it? And then that's my job to make sure they're doing that. Not letting them back off. There's a standard that we have that's been set, and it's my job, and each one of them are starting to get to the point where they can hold each other to that standard. But there's going to be days, as I know I'm not, there's going to be days where they're not going to feel like going as hard, and that's where I have to step in and really get into it. But I do feel like Yant and the rest of them are progressing in the right direction.
He's got, for a big guy, he's got some moves.
Yeah.
How do you balance helping him know when to use that and also when to just run a guy over?
That is a ability that not every running back is the same. All right, Yant is a big back, and God's given him size, God's given him good feet, and an ability to run, and he's got to use those. He's got to use those abilities to his advantage. There's a time and place when you can maybe try and outrun somebody, and there's a time and place where you need to use what God gave you, which is size and strength, and go get a tough yard. But we're never ever, I don't care what the size of the back, we're not going to shy away from contact. We're going to go, we got to initiate it, because we do 3 things on the field that nobody ever does. You know, who else on offense takes handoffs, has to block for the quarterback or a receiver on a jet sweep, and then go out for a pass? Nobody else does that. All right, so we got to be great at all 3 of them.
You've been around a lot of places and obviously getting to know your guys. Do you feel like you have enough there right now? Obviously you got Gabe out and some guys still coming in, but when you kind of size it up, what do you like, and do you feel like you have enough right now?
I never have enough, because competition, like I say this over and over like a broken record, but the more competition you can get at any position on a football field, the better your football team is going to be. And now, is there a point where you got too many? Yes, you can get to that point at some time. But as long as the guys in the room that I have right now continue to keep working towards getting better every day individually, you know, that they're just going to make each other better. So, but to answer your question, you never have enough, in my opinion. But you know, we do have enough right now that they're pushing each other to get each other better.
We'll talk about the quarterbacks taking snaps under center more often than usual. Has that been an adjustment for your running back group? How have they?
No, because I love getting under center, because you know, under center does a lot of different things for you. First of all, there's always something to be said that I'm going to run the ball right there and you got to stop it. And under center, you know, I think the football's kind of got away from that a little bit. The quarterback's getting under center, but there's also the under center. It gives the back a better chance to see the whole picture before he gets the handoff. You can hide play actions a lot better from under center. Is it a different look for the defense? Yes, because you know, what is it now? Football, 75% of the snaps in football are from the shotgun. Now you get under center, it changes things for a little bit, but it does create a mindset that I like when you get under center, that, hey, there's 2 things going to happen. They're going to run the ball right here, or it's play action, and you can hide both of them with that.
Will you guys use one of your scrimmage days Saturday? You know,
I believe so, yes.
that will be your second
Yes.
spring game will be the last. So
Yes.
how big will Saturday be? Because obviously you don't get a lot of to the ground days. How big is that going to be in the
They're all big. They're all big to me. Every day is big day for me. Every day, every time you walk onto that practice field or walk into the arena, I say the arena, into the stadium for a scrimmage, that's a big day, because somebody, you know, their depth chart has not been set, you know, and I'm not, you know, every day someone else is making a case for, hey, I'm the guy that could be number 1A. Yes, is Saturday big? Yes, Saturday's big because it's the next day. You know, today's over. Today was a big one. We walked on that practice field. Now that it's over, Saturday's the next big day. What are you going to do with it?
Are you guys going to take it in here if you can?
Weather permitting, yes. I'd love to get inside there just to see, you know, is someone going to cheese up because now we're inside a different venue.
What's the number that you want to have by the time you get to fall? Is it 3 to 4 guys that you'd like to be able to rely on in games, or what's kind of your optimal rotation you'd like to have?
Optimal rotation at running back. You know, it's a matter of not if you get hurt, it's when, right? In this sport, you know, five guys were, you know, I love my room right now, but 5 guys, I think we're like, okay, I got 1A, 1B, you know, I got 5 guys, we're okay. If someone is dinged up, someone is sore, you know, I got 4 that can still carry the load that we can, you know, get through a practice, get through a game. But you know, I love the competition right now in there today. I love the competition. I love the spirit. You know, they're bought into it. So, but yeah, 5 is probably optimal. 5, 6.
Jack said that his mission during the offseason was to improve his stamina. Where have you seen his stamina progress?
It's getting better. It's getting better. Yeah, he couldn't finish. He couldn't go 2 plays in a row first day. I don't know if you guys have been at practice. Has anyone seen anything? Yeah, we finish runs. If we're on the 50 and it's a run play, they have to go across the goal line at full speed, and then you have to jog back because you might have the next play. But you know, yeah, he has done a good. He actually has done a good job of trying to work to get himself into playing shape. But they all have, because that's the standard. You know, we're not going to stop just because you got touched. We're not going to surrender the run. I mean, go finish it. You know, there's something to be said when you put on film that you got touched and you still went full speed across that goal line. There's something to be said about that. You know, you're making a statement about yourself and what type of practice player you are.
What does the commitment that he's made to his body tell you about his development as a player and a person?
His commitment that he wants to be good. He wants to, you know, prove that, he can be reliable. He wants to prove that he can be depended on in games, and they all are doing the same thing. I can see all there, even though, as hard as we practice, they are doing a good job of taking care of their bodies, and they're, committed to this football team to become better football players.
He was saying about that as well, that you mentioned he couldn't go through plays, and he was saying like last year he would run and then at the end of the play he would just walk. Now he's running afterward, and he made a comment to you that you're like, because he said, I'm feeling better, and you're like, well, of course, like, you're putting that work. How does that also maybe then help with confidence, just seeing that physical piece is starting to maybe match the confidence level?
Yeah, well, once it's when you feel like that you can continue to keep going and playing at a high level, and you're not winded, that's going to do a lot for your confidence, right? If I can go run a 400 and I can rest for 30 seconds and run another 400, man, I'm great, right? Who would want to do that? So, yeah, the more in shape you are and the more you can feel it, and then you start to see it like, oh, last year I wouldn't have been able to do that. Now I can do that. Or even last week I wouldn't have been able to do that. Now I can do that now. That's going to do a lot for the psyche of any football player, any athlete.
Do you feel that the conditioning of the overall running back room is way better than it was last year?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it was last year. I think we are in a good place this year as far as the conditioning. But you should never ever be satisfied with it, But yeah, to right now, today, after practice today, I feel like we're in a good place in conditioning. But okay, after April 9th, here's the big question: are they going to be willing to do what they need to do to stay in condition? So when we start practice again in August, that we don't have to start back over where you only can go for one play. That's going to be the big test right now. Is after April 9th, all right. When I'm not around, I'm out spring recruiting. What are they going to do? And I'm going to challenge them. I mean, they haven't heard from yet, but I'm going to challenge them after April 9th. We're going to have a meeting right after that last play. I'm saying, okay, now, spring ball's over, okay? Are you satisfied with where you are, your body is? What are you going to do after this to continue to be good?
What is the biggest challenge that you're going to put forward for your guys after?
Can you maintain and get better than where you were at the end of April 9th? That's the biggest challenge. Okay, you may have scored 3 touchdowns in the spring game. Whoopie-doo, okay? Because come August 1st, it's a whole new season, right? We didn't win a game. We haven't played a game yet. We haven't played Penn State. You haven't played Minnesota yet. You played Nebraska all spring. So now, after April 9th, what are you willing to do, all right, to sacrifice, to give up, first of all right, and then what are you willing to do to help Nebraska be what Nebraska can be? That's going to be the biggest challenge. What are you going to do every day when you wake up? Ask yourself that question. What are you going to do to make Nebraska what Nebraska can be?
Do you feel like one can emerge, or is a committee more than likely the way it's going to go?
One will probably emerge just because if I'm looking at one bell cow will probably emerge. I would love to have 2 to 3 guys stand up. No, I'm the guy. No, I'm the guy. I'd love that. Like, okay, when I start a drill, I would love to see 3 guys fighting to be the first one up. Then I know, okay, we're in a place where we need to be. All right. But again, it's. If you have one, if we only have one, then I didn't do a good job. Then I'll put that on me. If we have only one guy that I feel like is the number one guy that he needs to take out of 40 run plays, he needs to have 35 of them, then that's on me. Because there's enough talent in that room that I should be able to develop. I should be able to develop, and we should be able to get at least 2 to 3 of them out of there.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.